When I
When
was
I was
young,
young,
my
my
family lived
family lived
overseas.
overseas.
I lived in
I lived in
Indonesia for a few years.
Indonesia
And
for a
my
few years,
mother,
and my
she didn't
mother,
have the
she
money to
didn't
send
have the
me
money to
where all
send
the
me
American
where all
kids
the
went to
American
school.
kids
But
went
she
to
thought it was
school.
important
It
for
was
me to keep
important for
up
me to
with
keep up
an
with
American education.
American
So she
education. She
decided to
decided to
teach
teach
me
me
extra
extra
lessons
lessons
herself,
herself,
Monday through
Monday through
Friday.
Friday.
But because she had to
Because
go
I
to
had to
work,
work,
the only time
the
she
only
could do
time she
it
could
was
do
at
it
4:30 in the
was
morning.
4:30 in the
But
morning.
whenever I'd
But
complain, my mother would
complain,
just
my
give me one of
mother
those
just
looks
give
and
one
she'd
of the looks.
say,
She said,
"This is no picnic
"There's
for
no
me
picnic
either,
for
Buster."
me either, Buster."
So I know that some of you
So
are
I
still
know why
adjusting
you are still
to being back
adjusting
at
to being
school, but I'm
back
here
at
today
school. But I'm
because
here today
I have
because
something
I have something
important to discuss with you.
important to discuss with you.
My father left
My
my family when I was
left
2 years
my
old.
family when I was 2 years
I
old.
was raised by
I
a
was
single
raised by
mom
a
who had to
single
work
mom who had to
and who
work,
struggled at
who
times
took
to pay the
time to
bills
pay
and
the
wasn't
bills
always
and
able to
wasn't
give us
able to give
the
us
things that
the
other kids
things
had.
that other kids
There were
had.
times when I
There was
missed
time when I
having a
missed
father in my
having a
life.
father in my life.
There were times when
There
I
was
was
time I was
lonely and I
lonely.
felt like I
I
didn't
feel
fit
like
in.
I didn't fit in.
So I wasn't
I
always
was
as
always
focused as I should have been on school.
I
And I did
have
some things that I'm not
I
proud
did
of. And I got
something about
in
that.
more
I
trouble
got
than I
in
should
more
have.
trouble than I should have.
And my life
And my life
could have easily
could have
taken a
easily
turn for the
turned
worse.
for the worse.
But I was
But I was
lucky.
lucky.
I got a lot of
I
second
had a lot of
chances,
chances
and I had the
and
opportunity to
have
go to college and law
opportunity to
school
go
and
to
follow
law
my
school
dreams.
and follow my dreams.
My wife,
My
our
wife,
First Lady
our
Michelle
First Lady Michelle
Obama, she
Obama,
has a similar
she has
story. Neither of her parents
story.
had gone to
Her
college,
parents had
and they
no
didn't have a
college.
lot of money.
They didn't have money.
But they worked hard,
They had
and
worked
she
hard,
worked
and she
hard so
worked
that she
hard.
could go to
So
the
she
best
could
schools
the
in this
best
country.
schools in the city, in the country.
Some of you might not
And
have
some of
those
you have
advantages.
no-
Maybe you don't
no
have
advantage. You
adults
have
in your life
Adult
who
in
give you
your
the
life
support that you need.
who give you support.
Maybe someone in your family has
someone in
lost
your
their
family
job,
has
and
their
there's not enough
job
money to go
and
around.
there's limit to go
Maybe you
around.
live in a
Maybe you
neighborhood
live in
where you don't
neighborhood
feel safe,
where you don't feel safe,
or have
or have
friends
friends
who are
who
pressuring you
pressuring
to do things
you to do
you
things
know aren't right.
you are on
Maybe
right.
you could be
Maybe you
a great
could be a
writer,
great
maybe
writer.
even good enough to
Maybe
write a
you're
book,
enough to
or
write book
articles in a
or
newspaper,
articles
but you might
in
not know it
newspaper. You might
until
not
you
know
write
it
that English
until you write
paper,
that English paper.
that English class
That English
paper
class
that's
paper
assigned to
that's
you.
assigned to you.
Maybe you could be an
Maybe you
innovator or
could
an
be an
inventor,
innovator
maybe
or
even
an
good enough to
inventor,
come up
maybe good
with the
enough
next
to
iPhone
with
or
the
the new
next
medicine
iPhone
or
or the new
vaccine.
medicine or
But
vaccine.
you might
But
not
you
know
might
it
not
until you
it.
do your project for your science class.
For your science class.
Maybe you could
Maybe
be
you are
a mayor,
maybe a
or a
mayor,
senator, or a Supreme Court justice. But you might
But
not
you
know
might
that
not know
until
that
you join
you
student
join
government
student
or
government
the debate
or
team.
debate team.
And no matter what
No
you
matter
want
what
to
you
do with
do
your
in
life,
your
I
life,
guarantee that you'll need
you
an education
need
to do it.
an education to do it.
You want to be a doctor
You
or
want
a
to be
teacher
doctor
or
or
a police
teacher or
officer?
police officer.
You want to be a
You
nurse
want
or
to
an
be nurse or
architect, a
architect,
lawyer or a
lawyer
member of our
or a member
military?
of military.
You're going to need
You
a
need
good
to
education
good
for every single one of those
education,
careers.
single one of those careers.
You
You
cannot drop
cannot
out
drop
of school and just drop
just
into a
move
good
into
job.
a good job.
You've got to
You
train
train
for it
it,
and work for it
go for
and
it,
learn for
and
it.
learn for it.
And this isn't just
This
important
isn't
for your own
important
life
for
and
your
your own
life,
future.
your own future.
What you make of
To
your
make
education will
will
decide nothing
decide
less than
nothing
the
less
future
than
of this
the
country.
future of this
The
country.
future of
The
America
future of America
depends on you.
depends on you.
What you're learning in
What you're
school
learning
today
in-
will
in
determine
today
whether
will
we
determine
as a nation
as
can
a
meet
nation
our
can meet
greatest challenges in the future.
in the future.
You'll need the knowledge
need
and problem-solving skills you learn in science and math
learn in
to
science
cure
and math,
diseases like
cure
cancer and AIDS,
disease,
and to develop new energy
Develop
technologies
new
and protect our
energy
environment.
technology to protect our
You'll
environment.
need the
You
insights
need
and critical
insights
thinking
and critical
skills
thinking
you
skills
gain in
you
history
get
and
in
social
history
studies
and
to fight
social
poverty and
studies, to
homelessness,
fight poverty
crime
and
and
homelessness,
discrimination,
crime
and
and
make our
discrimination,
nation more
to make
fair
our
and more free.
nation fair and more free.
You'll need the
You need the
creativity and
creativity and
ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build new companies. They'll create new jobs and boost our economy.
Great job and
We
boost
need
economy.
every single one of you to develop your
Every single of
talents
you
and your
develop
skills
talent,
and your
skills
intellect
and your
so you can
intellect,
help us old folks solve our most difficult
our
problems.
difficult problems.
If you don't do
If you
that,
don't do that,
if you
if
quit
you
on
would
school,
school,
you're not just
you are
quitting on
not
yourself, you're
quitting on
quitting on your
yourself, you're
country.
quitting on your country.
I know it's not always
I
easy
know
to do well in school.
easy to do well in school.
I know a lot of you
I
have
know a lot
challenges
of
in your lives right
challenges
now
in your lives right
that
now
can make it hard to
that
focus
can
on
make
your
it
schoolwork.
hard to focus on your schoolwork.
I get it. I know what
I
it's
get it. I
like.
know what it's like.
But at the end of the day,
But at the end of the day,
the
the
circumstances of
circumstances
your
of your
life,
life,
what you look like,
you
where
look
you
like,
come
where
from,
you
how
come
much
from,
money you
how
have,
much you will have,
what you've got going on at
what's
home,
going on at home.
none of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework or having a bad
have
attitude
bad
at school.
attitude at school.
That's no
That
excuse for
you
talking back
taking
to your
back with
teacher
your
or cutting
teacher,
class or
cutting
dropping
class
out of
or
school.
dropping out of school.
There is no
There's no
excuse for not
for not
trying.
trying.
Where you are
Where
right
you
now
are right
doesn't
now
have to determine
doesn't
where you'll end
determine
up.
where you end up.
No one's written your destiny for
Your
you.
destiny for you.
Because here in America,
Because
you
in
write your own
America,
destiny.
you write
You make your own
destiny.
future.
You make your own future.
That's what young
That's
people
young
like
people
you are doing
doing
every day all across America.
Across America.
That's why today I'm
That's
calling
why
on each of
today
you to
I'm
set
calling
your
you
own
to
goals
set
for
your
your
own
education.
goals for your
And do everything
education
you can
and
to
do
meet them.
everything you can meet them.
Your goal can be something as simple as
As
doing
simple
all your
as
homework,
doing all
paying
homework,
attention in
paying
class,
attention
or
in
spending
classes,
some
and
time
spending
each
some
day
time each day
reading a book.
reading a book.
Maybe you'll decide to get
You'll
involved
decide
in
to
an
get involved in
extracurricular activity or volunteer in your
extracurricular
community.
volunteer in your community.
Maybe you'll decide to stand up for kids who are being teased or
who are
bullied
being teased or
because of who
bullied.
they are or how they look.
How they look.
Because you
Because
believe,
you
like
believe
I
like I do,
that all
that
young
all
people
young
deserve a
people
safe
deserve
environment to
a
study
safe
and learn.
environment to study and learn.
Maybe you'll decide
Maybe
to
you
take better
decide
care
to
of
take
yourself
better
so you
care
can
of you.
be more ready to
And be
learn.
more ready to learn.
But whatever you
Whatever
resolve to
you
do,
resolve to do,
I want you to
I
commit
want
to
you
it.
to commit to it.
I want you to really work
I
at
want
it.
you to really work at it.
I know that sometimes you get
I
that
know
sense from
sometimes
TV
you
that you
get
can
to
be rich and successful without any hard work.
without any hard
Or
work.
your ticket to
That's
success is
ticket
through
to
rapping
success,
or
through rapping,
basketball or
basketball,
being
or
a
being
reality TV star. Chances are you're not going to be any of those things.
Need those things.
The truth is,
Everything
being successful is hard.
Is hard.
You won't
You
love
won't
every subject
love every
that you study.
subject that you study.
You won't click
You won't click
with every
with
teacher
every
that you
teacher
have.
that you have.
Not every
Not
homework
every
assignment
homework
will
assignment
seem completely
will
relevant
seem
to your
completely
life
relevant
right
to your
at
life
this minute.
right at this minute.
And you won't
And you
necessarily
won't
succeed
necessarily
in everything the first
succeed
time you
anything
try.
first time you try.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Some of the most
Some of the
successful
most
people
successful
in the world are the ones who
are
have
the
had
ones
the
who
most
have
failures.
more failures.
J.K. Rowling,
J.K. Rowling, who
wrote Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Her first
Her
Harry
first
Potter
Harry
book was
Potter
rejected
book was rejected
12
12
times
times
before it was
before it
finally
was
published.
published.
Michael Jordan
Michael
was
Jordan
cut from his high school
was out for
basketball
high
team.
school basketball team.
He lost
He
hundreds
lost
of games and missed
hundreds of games,
thousands
missed
of
thousands
shots
of
during his
shots
career. But he
during his
once
career.
said,
But he once said,
I have failed
I have failed over and over
again
in my life.
And that's why I
That's
succeed.
why I succeed.
These people
People
succeeded because
succeeded
they
because
understood,
they understood that
you can't let your
you can't let
failures
your failure
define you.
you.
You have to let,
You have to let your
failures
failure teach you.
You have to let them
You have to
show
let
you
them show
what to do
you what
differently the next
differently
time.
the next time.
So if you get into
So
trouble,
you get
it
trouble.
doesn't mean you're a
That
troublemaker.
means you're a troublemaker.
It means you need
It
to try
means
harder.
try harder
to
to
act
act right.
If you get a bad
You
grade,
have
that doesn't
bad
mean you're
grade, that
stupid. It
doesn't
just
mean you're
means you
silly.
need to spend more
Spend
time
more
studying.
time studying.
No one's
No one
born
born
being
being
good
good
at all
at
things.
all things.
You become
You become
good at things through hard
Through
work.
hard work.
You're not a varsity
You're a
athlete the first
varsity
time you play a
athlete,
new sport.
first time you play
You don't
a
hit
sport.
every note the first time you sing a song.
Sing a
You've got
song.
to practice.
It's worth
The
practice.
same
Same
principle
principle
applies to your schoolwork.
schoolwork.
You might have to do a math problem a
Math
few times
problem
before you
few
get it
times
right.
you
You might have to
right.
read something
You
a
have to
few
read
times
something
before you understand it.
Before you
You
understand it.
definitely have to
You
do a few
definitely
drafts
do
of a
drafts
paper before it's good
before
enough
you
to
good
hand
enough
in.
to hand in.
Don't be afraid
Don't
to ask
afraid
questions.
to ask questions.
Don't be afraid
Don't
to
afraid
ask
to
for
ask
help
for
when you
help
need it. I do
when
that
you
every
need
day.
it. I do that every day.
Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength.
It's a sign of strength.
Because it shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know something, and that then allows you to learn something new. So find an adult that you trust,
that you
a
trust.
parent, a
A
grandparent,
parent,
or a
grandparent,
teacher,
or
a
a
coach,
teacher,
or a
coach,
counselor, and ask them to
to
help
ask
you
them
stay on track
help
to
you
meet
stay on
your
track
goals.
to meet your goals.
And even when you're
Even
struggling,
when you're
even when
struggling,
you're
even when you're
discouraged,
discouraged,
and you feel like
you
other
feel
people
like
have given
other
up on
people
you,
have given up on you.
don't ever
Don't
give
ever
up on
give
yourself.
up on yourself.
Because when you give
Because
up on
you
yourself,
are giving on yourself.
you give up on your
You
country.
give up on your country.
The story of America
story
isn't
of
about
America
people who
isn't
quit when
about
things got
who quit
tough.
When
It's
things
about people who
it's
kept
about
going, who tried
people
harder, who
who
loved
tried
their
harder,
country too
who
much
loved their
to do
country
anything
not
less
too
than their
much
best.
to do anything less than their best.
It's the story of
The
students
story
who
of
sat
students who sat
where you sit
where you
250
sit
years ago
250
and went on to
years
wage a
ago
revolution,
when
and they
we-
founded this
the
nation.
nation.
Young people.
Young people.
Students who sat where
Students
you
sat
sit
in
75 years ago, who
the
overcame a depression
75
and won a world war,
The World
who fought
War.
for civil rights
Who
and
fought
put a
for
man
civil
on the
rights.
moon. Students who sat where you sit 20 years ago, who founded Google, Twitter, and Facebook, and changed the way we communicate with each other. So today, I want to ask all of you, what's your contribution going to be? What problems are you going to solve? What discoveries will you make? What will a president who comes here in 20 or 50 or 100 years say about what all of you did for this country? You know, your families, your teachers, and I are doing everything we can to make sure you have the education you need to answer these questions. I'm working hard to fix up your classrooms and get you the books, the equipment, and the computers you need to learn. But you've got to do your part too. So I expect all of you to get serious this year. I expect you to put your best effort into everything you do. I expect great things from each of you. So don't let us down. Don't let your family down or your country down. Most of all, don't let yourself down. Make us all proud.
Make us all proud.